Welcome to the Just Be Nice Project podcast with me, Josh Reed Jones, discussing all things powerful positive impact, finding out how you can remove barriers to opportunity for others through insightful and hopefully interesting conversations covering honest, diverse, and sometimes neglected areas of discussion. We are, as always, seeking to create extraordinary positive change in the world by helping you make ordinary positive change as we help you help others. You've got through the intro, now hang in there for the good stuff, strap yourself in, turn it up, and as always, just be nice as we roll the show. Alright, welcome back to the Just Be Nice Project podcast. As we record this today, we respectfully acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we're recording, the Bunwurrung and Wurundjeri peoples of the Kulin Nation, and we pay our respect to their elders, past and present. You're here with me, Josh Reed Jones, he, him, and today I'm catching up with Chippy, surfer, vlogger, intrepid traveller, meditator, and yogi, Joey Cliff, aka the yoga lad, he, him. How are you, mate?
G'day, mate. How are ya?
Full Australian accent on lockdown.
I'm not an Aussie, mate. Don't be silly. No, I'm really good, thank you.
Thanks for coming in, man.
I'm living the dream. It's
Happy
good.
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Cheers for the wine.
Cheers.
Cheers to that,
Clink,
bro.
clink,
Cheers
clink.
to that.
Love that.
Yes.
What better way to spend it than with a beautiful scented candle and a sunset through the window?
I'm one of my fucking bros.
We're actually doing okay. This isn't so bad.
This is sick, mate. This is sick.
Just got to wait for the Uber Eats doorbell, we should have sorted that out beforehand, but...
Ah, well, fuck them.
Mate, we're in Melbourne. You do not sound like you're from Melbourne.
No, mate.
Coventry.
I'm from Coventry, which is in the Midlands.
Big up, Cov.
Yeah. Play up Sky Blues.
Am I imagining things? You have a terrible tattoo that just says Cov.
I do. It's on my ankle.
Yeah.
It's my first tattoo.
Half rubbed off.
Yeah. Me and some people were drunk on PP Island in Thailand, and these people were from random places in the world. I don't know who any of them are. And we all went and got the places where we're from tattooed on our bodies. I got Cov on my ankle. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's fucking great.
It is good. I mean, it's not like it's not a horrible, noticeable, huge chest piece or anything. This is a little joke thing on your ankle.
It's fucking funny. Well, I'll get loads of respect for it when I'm at home and I'm wearing flip-flops, which is fucking rarely.
Yeah,
it's
too cold.
Too cold to wear flip-flops, and I'm not there that often.
Tell us about Coventry, man.
Oh, the city... Coventry, city of villains. Now it's a town of about 300,000 people in the Midlands, famous for Lady Godiva, the Specials, another band called The Enemy, which are famous in England but not here. Automotive industry, so Triumph motorcycles,
okay,
Jaguar cars, Aston Martins around that area too. So it's had a strong lineage of the automotive industry, and it got heavily bombed in World War II, which it was one of the most biggest production places.
Oh yeah, you imagine they would have commandeered all of that for military purposes.
Yeah, man, they were pumping out tanks and stuff there, and like my nan got sent to Coventry to go and work in the munitions factories, and then like years later she met my granddad who came over from Ireland. And he was working in the Marconi communications thing there. And anyway, I don't know the full story, but that's the sort of gist of it.
So is it one of those kind of grey industrial British towns?
Yeah.
With all the necessary...
It's had a good turn in the last few years, as in lots of investment from Jaguar Land Rover, which is on the cusp of going completely fucking wrong at the moment, which would be horrendous.
Yeah.
But, and Coventry University and Warwick Uni's there as well. So there is definitely good stuff going on there, but it just struggles, I think, in some respects because, it's not in a really cool... there's no ocean or mountains or rivers and stuff like that. So that's
like
what
bang in the middle of England.
It's bang in the middle. So that's what I don't really like about it. That's the biggest thing for me. There's no surf.
Shit surf, yeah.
Or I can't go do a hike, or can't go swim in the ocean, or there's no like rivers and epic shit to look at.
Mm-hmm.
So many good people there. So many...
Salt of the earth.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Funny fuckers. You walk in the pub down there and it's like, here we go. I'm going to have a right laugh here. And yeah, it's I miss the banter and stuff like that from home a lot.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, well,
gotta pick up my game.
Aussies, you struggle a little bit. Oh shit, Josh, you know what I mean? No, you go all right. You've got it. Like James Russell's a friend of ours.
He's basically British. He served in the British Army.
Yeah. So, yeah, mate. It's. I've been back there a few times. So I've been in Australia for nearly 11 years now.
Wow.
Which is fucked.
Yep.
And it's a long story. I've been up, down, here, there, and everywhere, working in fucking fly in, fly out. Had to go back to England to sort of spend time with family and do stuff there. Done that
You're a citizen of the world, well and truly.
Oh, I'm fucking over it. I just want to be a citizen of Melbourne for a year.
Yeah.
And then, or 18 months, and then sort of go from there. It's been pretty unsettling, moving around so much.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely like, be grounded, be stable, stay in Melbourne, put down some roots in Australia now. Cov is just another one of those towns in England.
Just another one of those places.
I'm afraid. Full of
pints and
yeah,
factories and
cocaine. Everyone's just bang at that.
Fair dinkum.
It's fucked.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's all a bit out of control. It's like shit. And then the sort of yoga scene there is not too strong either. It sort of struggles. There's a few teachers around. There's no real dedicated studios, and a lot of people just want to get out.
Sitting still, mindfulness, yoga practice and cocaine don't seem to be things that would go hand in hand.
They don't, mate. They don't.
In front of my mind when I'm combining a couple of elements of chilling.
Yeah. So that's why it's missing a lot for me now. That home is missing a lot for me as I've travelled and grown and seen the world and experienced different things and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go back there and it's like, oh fuck, I'm back.
Back in a time or back in a place where you're not really sure that you want to be around all of this.
Yeah, all the craziness of that. But
give everyone the word up. How old is the yoga lad?
33.
33. Old enough to know better. Young enough to still be amongst it.
Old enough to fucking know that I need to pull my head in and stay put down under, mate.
It's the place to be.
It is the place to be.
Let's be honest. It's a great place. Melbourne is the place to be of all the places down under. In my humble opinion.
I'm not sure.
I love it down here, man. Seriously.
I do love Melbourne. I think, but then there's a lot more to Australia that I haven't really seen.
True.
So maybe in 2 years, I'm going to go and live in Byron Bay for 6 months.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll do that.
You would, wouldn't you?
I'd do that.
Fast exercising, fast drinking in Cov, being a bit of a slothy bastard with no tan. Let's be honest.
No tan, yeah.
Tan.
I've got a bit of a tan now.
Now you've got one. Now you're sort of this, meditative surfer with a burgeoning yoga practice, personal practice. Like, how do you join the dots from one to the other?
Okay, so worked for some dudes back in 2011, 12. And they sponsored me. These dudes were not nice dudes.
Good.
Anyway, they gave me a visa. So, stuck with those guys. And people on 457s get the piss taken out of them really badly by their employers. Mm-hmm. And it's fucked. So, if you're an employer and you've ever taken the piss out of anyone who's on a 457, you've sponsored them and you've treated them wrongly, fuck you. Because that...
that
is fucked.
Yeah.
Did that. Got sponsored. That was a horrible, horrible time, actually. I was sort of got really depressed because I wasn't sure what was happening with my life. I was like, oh man, I need to stay in Australia. I need to get this visa sorted so I can progress and actually earn some money and do this and that. But then you apply for your visa and then you can wait for a year. You're in limbo. It's just a horrible thing to have to go through.
So were they just taking the piss work-wise?
They took the piss badly work-wise. They didn't pay us the correct amount of money. Me and some other people, they would hold it again. They'd hold that over you as well. So if you didn't want to do something they wanted you to do, they would be like, okay, we'll cancel your visa then. I.e., go to a building site somewhere, say you're somebody you're not.
Okay, yeah.
Do this, do that. So I'm not going to say
I'm
anymore.
a qualified plumber as well. I'll do the thingy.
Yeah.
For sure.
So basically that was a horrible period of life, and then that sort of made me think I need to not work in construction anymore because these fucking people I've worked for have completely put me off.
Yeah.
So then I sort of explored some other avenues. I tried to be a PT, and it's sort of been a long drawn out process because you know, the universe will pull you in different directions. Like my dad got crook in England around all of that time, so I fucking went into this emotional stress overload and went back to the UK, lived there for a bit whilst the visa shit was going on. You just don't know what's happening, and you're not stable, and you've got no direction, and you're 26 or something like that. It's like, it's not cool. So all you're doing is just partying hard or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, that bit happened, and then I came back to Australia. Eventually got residency. Then I went off and worked in the mines.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Darwin, which was
warm and humid.
Yeah. Then I went to Barrow Island.
Big Barrow out in the WA.
Which is a fucking island in WA.
Gas.
It's full of dudes.
Yeah, there's a lot of dudes in Barrow.
Oh, no. I only did like 6 swings in the mines, and some guys do it for years, and that is a total head fuck doing that kind of work. Some blokes are all right with it, but you can see it sort of takes a toll on some guys. So, blokes...
toll that you can't fill, a gap you can't fill just with 7 jet skis and 9 highly leveraged investment properties.
No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. There's a high rate of depression in that industry. There's a high rate like that. Darwin. Anytime you mention the Darwin Impex project to anybody who has had anything to do with it, one of the first things people talk about is the suicides that happened on or within that job, and that's like, looking back at that now, I was just like, oh my God, that is...
I worked there.
I was
one of those people.
I was one of those people. That shit was going on whilst I was there. So, that gets the fucking mind spinning. And then, so anyway, Darwin did the FIFO, moved back to England for 18 months. Wow, it was supposed to be 6 months.
Yeah, I missed you for a long time, my man.
And it fucking turned into 18 months.
Built a new kitchen.
Bruh. What happened? Got back there, started working, went up to see Matty Wellness in Scotland like twice, which was amazing. So I came back to Australia, and during that time I'd done my first yoga teacher training. So I got back here, I was teaching yoga, coaching CrossFit, sort of going all right, working as a chippy 3 days a week, hustling, darting around, trying to make money and fucking be awesome at all this shit.
Yep.
And then that just fucking died on its ass again. So my dad got sick again, and I was like, I just had to go. So I just fucking pulled the pin. You just got to do it. You just got to. I just booted off.
Yeah, you were doing the stuff at Jones Brothers then as well.
That
was right then. It was like, cool, gotta go. Yeah, that's right.
Gotta go. I nearly built up a full schedule of teaching yoga and fitness, and I was doing some corporate stuff with Oakley, and it was fucking going really well actually. But then, you just...
Life happens, man.
Life happens, yeah. And I thought that it'd be nice to go back home and be there. So I did. During this whole 13 months previously to that, I was completely free of alcohol. So I didn't do anything, like no drugs, no alcohol. So that was a weird time because I was going to nightclubs in Coventry but not drinking. And pubs and stuff like that, and drinking water, and people were just like, all right, who's this fucking cunt here? Like,
what's he got going on?
What's he doing here? Why is he not driving? You must be driving. I'm not driving now. No. That was a period of growth. Yeah. Oh, fuck, I've missed out the whole travel bit of Nepal and India. Yeah, because I sort of started travelling in between rather than flying straight back to Australia. One of the trips I flew back through Nepal, through India, and did a teacher training in Bali with Octavio at the practice, which is like shit hot. And so that was the real start of things now. That was the real start of shifts, if you like, and spirituality, and like real starting to get deep into yoga. So I remember when I went there, I was like asking all these questions about the traditions, which I didn't know about because my first teacher training really didn't go into that too much. And I went to India after my first teacher training and thought, fucking hell, I'm a fraud.
I know some moves, and I don't know why we do the moves or what the deal is.
I know fuck all. I still know nothing. That's the thing.
Yep.
You got to understand that we know nothing. The knowledge and depth of like tantra and everything like that just goes and goes and goes. Yeah, see, you're into everyone thinks that straight away. Even one of our teachers told us about the sexual practices.
Yes.
And basically said they're shit anyway. You'll just be lying there naked for ages chanting mantras.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Is that not what everyone does all the time?
Ah, mate.
I'm doing it wrong.
Those whole neo-tantrics can... Yeah, they can fuck off too.
So it's a bunch of backwards and forwards sprinkled with yoga trainings.
Yeah, the yoga and the people I've met along the way.
Of water.
It's mad, mate. You look back and you look at the people you've met, right? And you look at stuff that's happened, and you can so see the lessons and the reasons for it when you look back at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Things are sort of all clicking very much into place with a lot of effort. With a lot of work, but like faith as well, faith and strong practice, so strong meditation practice and stuff like that.
You started the yoga situation. Did you start that at Hawthorne? Yoga ring?
Well, I was teaching bits and pieces back in the UK. Yep. No, when I first practiced yoga was with Casey, who owns Cooler Yoga at CrossFit St Kilda.
Okay,
so that was like meant to be. It was meant to be that I went to do CrossFit, and that her
got rhabdo.
Yeah, got rhabdo. Got
GHD sit-ups.
Got a bad back and a bad neck from it now, but love CrossFit. Woo!
Good times.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Hey, we met there.
Best days. But that was meant to be that I met my first ever teacher there, and then ended up doing some bits of teaching at her studio, which is awesome, and helped out at her gym and everything, like her and her husband's gym. So it's just, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that time of yoging, are you super bendy now?
No fucking way.
Well, what is going on there, bro?
I'm not flexible. That's what's going on. And I don't really give a fuck about flexibility.
Yeah.
No, I'm
talk just like, because I think that's the thing. As a man that has done a bunch of different sports and all kinds of things, I've been pretty banged up. I was reviewing my list of injuries the other day after I got bitten by a snake on the weekend.
You fucking hard cunt.
I was like, add that to the list.
Yeah!
On a trail run. And I was like, actually, I've got a pretty impressive list of injuries, and I'm a bit stiff, and people are like, go do yoga, it's great, you relax. And all I think of is just trying to hold these positions and shaking and sweating and just being like, this is so hard for me. And the girl to my left and the girl to my right have just flopped over in this beautiful little hip opening position or whatever. And I'm like, this is not my experience. So as someone, I've seen you move. I know you're not that bendy, or you certainly weren't, 4 years ago.
Look, I can do some of that shit, like some of these moves, and they look all right, and I'm pretty still, and I can hold them for a long time, and it's about sort of doing them with loose effort, if that makes sense. Not being floppy in the body, but loose effort in the mind.
Yes.
So it's all mind-body connection. And we really need to start getting people to move beyond the asana. Although, it's so important, because especially with everyone like me working on I've done 60 hours last week on doing form work and mucking in with concreters and stuff like that. So it's hard graft on the body.
Form work, for people who don't know, is building the frames that you pour concrete into to make buildings.
Yeah, and only fucking legends do form work.
It's entry-level carpentry, mate.
Shit carpenters fit kitchens. Fucking hell, mate. So, anyway, pretty hard going on the body, but I'm really liking it. I'm working with some wicked lads, and it's local, and it's a good company and all that. That's what I'm talking about. Everything's sort of slotting in and flowing at the minute.
But you're balancing out this sort of, gritty graft with, mind-body connection.
Yeah, man. Every morning, up, mat, practice, move, 15 minutes.
Next to the bed?
Meditate next to the bed, 15 minutes.
Just roll straight into it.
Yeah, obviously I check Instagram and Facebook first.
Obviously you got to do that.
Like, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Just fuck yourself by looking at your phone first thing in the morning.
It's the worst thing, isn't it?
That's what I don't do. I don't look at my phone until after practice.
It's a shocking habit I have. I've really got to stop it. Dude, I just get stuck there 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's like, what was I I could be showered by now. What was I doing?
Yeah.
So for you, the practice of yoga is not bendiness.
Little bit of bendiness.
Yep.
But it's like I say, like when I went to India, and I was like, oh my God, I know nothing. I went to some Nidra workshops. Yoga Nidra is like yoga sleep. It's where you lie down, you work.
That sounds great.
It's fucking brilliant. In fact, I'm going to make you get this app.
Okay.
And then you can It's called Sanctuary, Rod Striker, and you can start doing the Nidra on there. It's so good. Anyway, and I started doing that, and I realised, like, fucking hell, I can't even sit. I can't even lie still.
Oh, dude.
Like, so you've just got too much energy fluctuating in the body and leaking here and there. And look, it gets beyond asana. And we've got things like pranayama, which is...
We'll go through all of those.
Yeah, man, we could be here for a long time. But
we're going to have to go through a couple of them because you said asana a couple of times.
Okay.
And, you know.
Asana actually means seat.
Ass.
Like on your ass, mate. It's posture. Let's just say asana means posture.
Mm-hmm.
Pranayama means let's not
breathing?
say breath work, but it's so much more than breath work.
Okay.
It's much more than that. It's more
breath, like connection to breath.
Yeah,
or something?
but connection to energy as well. So let's say prana, life
sort of
force.
like chi.
Chi. Very good work. Yes, very good.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
Josh. Chi is the Chinese medicine version of prana.
Okay.
So same.
You can use that if you want in your classes when you're trying to.
Nah, because not in my lineage, bro. I'm in a different lineage,
I'm a different vibes here.
Different vibes, bro. It's all same, but different. Anyway, so we've got prana, and then we've got mantra.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a good one to talk about. Om. Okay, the mantra Om. Mantra.
3D in tattoo form.
Yeah, fucking makes a wicked tattoo. I need to get one on my other ankle. So mantra it's like, let's just say Sanskrit.
Yep. That's Indian text.
Ancient Indian text.
Yep.
Dudes, yogis went into the forest, got quiet, got still, probably didn't do crazy amounts of asana or none at all, and they heard or sensed or like felt these vibrations inside of them, and that was the mantra. That was the Sanskrit. That's what it started to unfold. Okay,
mm-hmm.
So that's how we work in meditation. We bring ourselves to a point in the body, either the like third eye or the gate of the heart, and you let that mantra unfold, and it can be something like Om or Om Namo Shivaya or something a little bit longer with a different meaning. And it's like it's really profound. Once you have found some or work towards a state of sensitivity to prana, so sensitivity to energy, then these mantras start to they almost start to echo around inside you. You're like
so the mythology is that it's tied to, like, they found this space, this was the noise or the words that came to them in that space.
But it's also a different plane of existence.
Okay.
It's like a parallel, it's like that's the only way to explain it. It's a different plane of existence. There's this whole different plane of mantra unfolding.
So you're trying to get there through the verbalization and internalization of the mantra. It's supposed to move you closer to that other place.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yep.
And look, even if you don't believe in that other place, or if it doesn't take you any closer, it's certainly going to help people to ground and slow down and focus and get clear. Is
this a Buddhist vibe?
No, it's yoga. But it's
yoga.
This is yoga. This is from Tantra. So tantric umbrella, it's sort of like works. Ayurveda, yoga and Tantra all working on the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just sort of flows from there.
Okay.
There's so much in there. So many different schools, so many different lineages. You've got the Sutra of Patanjali with lots of different commentaries from different sages over fucking so much amount of time.
Mm-hmm. So there's this kind of almost, you go back to a certain point of time and someone's gone, okay, we feel this vibe, and there's another space where yogis, or we're in this kind of tantric space, this mantra space. This is what we're doing to find that otherworldliness or that otherness and connect with it,
or that sort of divine connection.
That divine
to self.
connection to self / yourself isn't maybe there, or you are a part of everything.
You are a part of everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then from there, potentially, then the Buddhists have taken elements of that into their own practice of Buddhism, and that sort of thing, or are these like parallel developments?
Parallel developments. Hold on a minute. Now, Buddha, I can't fucking remember. I think there are some dates, but Buddha was around before Patanjali. I need to like read more.
That's okay.
More. Yeah, I know.
Just getting a handle on it.
Exactly. It's a
lot.
It's a lifelong study. So, yeah, but Buddhism is like just incredible. But they obviously look. I went and spent some time with a Buddhist in Lumbini, which is the birthplace of the Buddha in Nepal. When I was there, and I spent some time with this monk. He was actually Austrian, and he renounced everything and gone full Buddhism, and he could speak like Tibetan and everything like that, and he was teaching at a local school, and he told me a few things, and we went and did this meditation under the tree where Buddha was supposedly born, or where Buddha meditated.
Now that's where he was thinking, and everyone came to see him at that tree.
Yeah,
okay.
And there's like a sacred spot within that courtyard where you walk around the thing 3 times.
What's that place like?
It's fucking incredible.
Does it feel weird?
It feels amazing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and you accumulate karma there. He's like, dude, if you just walk around this thing, you're going to accumulate so much fucking karma. I was like, sweet.
I'm just cutting laps. Yeah. CrossFit brain kicks in.
Like,
I'm going to do 200 laps.
Go. Yeah. So did that, and when I spoke to him about yoga, this is before I knew anything about sort of Tantra. I'd done my stuff at the practice in Bali. He was saying to me, the guys, it's just gymnastics. He was just a bit like, it's just gymnastics. I was like, okay, sorry, bro.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. It was like if yoga was just stretching, all gymnasts would be enlightened, but they're not.
That's Rod Stryker that said that.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, the world is a bit posturally fucked. Everybody needs to move their body a lot more than they do.
Yes.
And do corrective stuff for their body within their body as well. So like what people are doing out there in yoga studios is great for that as well. I just wish they'd all meditate a little bit more. That's the sort of goal. That's the vibe I'm spreading. More meditation. Definitely. More stillness, still the movement, just a little bit more stillness and silence and meditation.
So you've done
home
a few different teacher trainings.
Yes.
To the uninitiated. What the hell does that even mean? Why would you need to do different ones all the time? And, you know, there's like, I did 10 hours, I did 60, I did 200 hours with, blah, blah.
You've got to shop around. I think your first teacher trainings, really, you're going to be going in pretty blind. Well, there's a lot of information out there. And if you've been studying with a teacher, like a local...
Isn't the Bikram guy a mega creep?
Yeah. I basically did his training at Fierce Grace in London. And it was basically Bikram. And the lady, Michelle, she's lovely. She'd just gone, fuck, this dude's fucked. And broke away and made her own thing. She's doing really well. It's very hot yoga and it's very, very...
asana?
Yeah, very asana. They meditate though, but they're still sort of...
In the sauna?
Yeah. Yeah. So they're doing some... Yeah, it was great. I liked it. I met some cool people. Like, yeah, it's cool, but at the same time, it's 200 hours. So what can you actually study within 200 hours? So you've got a month to study a subject. What can you fit in from this massive, vast array of knowledge? Like, you can fit in fuck all, basically. So so the aim of a lot of teacher training is to get people good enough so that they can go in and teach a class safely, which is right, because you don't want people getting injured and not going to yoga.
How do they balance the difference between teaching you to teach a class and not break people, and then go, you're not going to break people, but how do we bring you along to a place where you can now, one, see a different future or potential in your practice, and then teach that again? Like, do you go teach X, learn X, Y, then learn how to teach X, Y, then learn X, Y, Z yourself, then learn how to teach X, Y, Z? Is it kind of go like that? You just keep accumulating your own practice and then learn how to teach that, and then
definitely teach what you know.
Yep.
There's some things, like I can't do headstands because I've got a fucked neck. I can't do handstands because I need to practice them more. I need to do handstand practice. And like pinching my asana, I can't do that because I'm so tight through my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's stuff I'm working on.
Yes.
And eventually I might teach it. But then if there's a purpose to teaching it. So definitely teach what you know and what you've practiced. So I'm going to give you an example now. We're doing, as part of my ongoing training with my teachers in Bali, we do 40-day sadhanas. We've got monthly assignments.
What's a sadhana?
Okay, so it's a 40-day practice. So basically...
Your mission for the next 40 days?
Yeah, to get a new habit or to create a new habit, you do it for 21 days and then it becomes a habit, doesn't it?
Okay.
That's like... So yogis have been doing this for a long, long time as 40 days. So my 40-day sadhana at the moment is this Kriya meditation, and it's about transforming negativity in my body. So there's...
Wow.
Yeah. So doubt... What is it? It's doubt and certainty. Let's keep this simple. So doubt is negative.
Mm-hmm.
Certainty is like good, positive. If you're certain about something, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working with this Kriya, and you associate that with a colour. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you an example. Anger is associated with blue because blue is a cooling colour. Make sense?
So you want to cool the anger, so you go with blue to cool the anger, not because...
Yeah, you wouldn't go with red.
Yeah,
because you don't want to fire these dudes up.
Yeah, okay.
So that's my Kriya at the moment. Mine's the gold one, and it's like filling my body with gold light during a meditation. So you're seeing this happen within your body.
That explains all your chains, mate.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
He doesn't have any chains. I'm just kidding.
Got loads of gold now, bro.
Yeah. All right, fam. Just got the gold out.
So anyway, look, I'm practicing that, and then I'm going to teach that after I've practiced it.
So you have a focus, and that's like almost like an internal mind mantra. You're focusing on this golden inner light vibe. You're not saying anything, but it's almost like a mind visualization-y type situation.
Yeah. Visualization gets used a lot, but I'm trying to use that less, because if you tell someone to visualize,
just think of a picture.
It's an imagination. That sparks imaginations. But if you tell someone to see yourself filled with gold light, it's like they're fucking lying there and they're filled with gold light, and
it's like from the inside, not from your eyeballs.
Yeah, that's it.
It comes from your guts.
Yeah. So anyway, lots of work still to do on that. That's what I've just studied, and lots of nidra stuff, which is the yoga sleep thing, where you're supposed to get into a state of sleep but not actually fall asleep, but you get the benefits of sleep.
Sometimes I feel like that, man.
Would be fucking good for my bro Josh Jones. Yo,
man, I need extra blue in my life. I need some gold.
We all do. We all do, man. We live in the fucking craziest, busiest place. It's amazing, but it's gnarly, mate. Like, people are, sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight.
Yep.
We need to bring it back to more rest and digest. So that's another thing. So asana, it affects your physical body, your subtle body, your nervous system, your energetic body, which is subtle body. So there's different energies within the body which circulate. They're called the pran vayus. So it affects so much more than just the physical body. That's the thing that I'm trying to bring to the classes that I'm teaching.
So there's this thing, I guess, that selfishly that I wonder is it all not a bit self-centered in that whole process of just like constantly just like, what's my color and what am I doing and how do I feel a certain way? And
it's so much focus on the self and the I am, but that's another thing that is trying to get transcended. If you're trying to break away from that, because there's this whole association with your mind and what's going on in your mind, and it definitely it can sort of get wrapped up in what's going on with me. That's why you've got to sort of teach it as well, and try and serve others with the teachings. So if you're helping somebody, then that's good.
It's one of the things I find is a trap, and I certainly see it in the space, particularly with, with Just Be Nice, is that the tendency is to get pulled towards the things that that feel good, that are immediately identifiable as having some positive impact, instead of looking for what, the ultimate or long-term or good positive impact is.
Yeah.
And I see people get drawn towards that. And so, like, for instance, if it was me, I'd spend all my time with at-risk kids. It's I love time with the children. I really enjoy being able to see them come along and the energy you get from spending time with these kids. But I know that at JBN, my best time is not spent doing that. My best time is spent providing resources and programs and bringing partners on to make sure that they get all the help that they need for as long as they need it.
Yeah.
But the temptation is always like, just go hang out and just do the stuff that feels good. Just go and do those things where you get that immediate feedback, because, instead of sitting behind a computer or making those phone calls or having those meetings with corporations that don't necessarily see that connection.
It would be really easy to just go and do the feel-good yoga.
Yep.
But part of this process is having a hard look at yourself and what you've got going on in there that you're scared to look at. And everybody's got that. Those demons, those mini monsters. And I've had meditations where I've sat there sweating and fucking couldn't get still, and my head was going and I didn't know what was going on. I had it's almost traumatic, it's almost like a fucking really bad experience, but then you're not supposed to judge that. But it was something happened. A friend of mine passed away, and I went and tried to do these meditations, and it just backfired on me completely. Yeah. So there's just always a lesson in it.
Is there, and I'm speaking for myself here, I don't know for everybody, but certainly I've found in my life and the way that I deal with things a lot of the time, I need to yell, I need to be physical, I need that. I don't know if there's a word for that. Like red, I suppose, would be the colour of the energy.
But do you need to do that, or do you want to do that?
Well, I just feel like it just gets it done. Those moments you're so overwhelmed that you just need to cry under your desk, or you need to yell, or you just want to run as hard as you can, you're just like, ah! In yoga, do you always have to calm your way through those moments? I don't feel necessarily better when I cry. I never have really felt better, but I have felt the kind of pressure valve release from just being like able to just...
At least you can do that, man. Some guys can't do that. They wouldn't allow themselves to do that. Yeah. And that is a fucking problem.
That's a massive problem. Sure.
But on what you just said, you're talking about you're getting endorphins and stuff like that happening. Yeah, bro, more wine. Cuzzy. Thursday night, who gives a fuck?
Hey, Thursday's a great night for a wine.
We're going down Chapel Street tonight or what? I just got paid. Hey. No, I think that's my limit, 2 glasses. So there's that, but it's hard to describe.
Is there an angry yoga? Is there a
well, Ashtanga yoga, which is like world famous Ashtanga, was about
push-ups.
Loads of that shit. It was about hardcore asana, but that was for 15-year-old boys in a Mysore castle or whatever, palace castle. To control
that energy,
their
that
sexual energy. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's your practice should change with your age.
Okay.
It's all, it's in constant flux.
So you have kids, it changes.
Well, definitely, yeah. If you have kids, then your practice is probably going to be fucked. Like, you're probably going to, I don't know.
Yeah, no sleep coming. We're 2 dudes without kids. We're just guessing here.
We just do what the fuck we want. But, a friend of mine, he's got kids. He's a yogi, old school, and he's just like, it's like, okay, your dharma, your life's purpose. You're living your dharma. You're doing the JBM.
Yeah.
You're fucking living your life's purpose. It's incredible. I'm working on my dharma, all right? Mm-hmm. I'm working in construction because it serves my dharma. It's going to serve a higher purpose later on. Mm-hmm. Once you have children, I think that's it. That's your dharma.
Yeah.
So then everything else can sort of go on the back foot, and you can dive back into it now and again, and people make it work. They
totally have been doing for many thousands of years.
Fuck yeah, bro. Yeah. So there's that. But So you want an energetic yoga practice?
Well, I'm just wondering if you have to always calm it, like if the outcome, like the process to getting calm is always also calm. Because I have never seen, and it would totally end up on a Vice clip or a Unilad clip or something, of a yoga class where you get in and you scream your ass off and you punch stuff and then you sit down and chill out or something.
Well, that's called I've been to men's circles where we fucking throw bolsters on the ground, punch bolsters, call each other cunts, and then meditate afterwards.
Okay, yeah,
like,
okay.
You know, you get it out, yeah, fucking rah! Let a bit of rage out and open up, and it's like a Cherokee. There's like an Indian Cherokee. I can't fucking remember.
Like a Native American
American circle thing where you say "oh" after everyone talks and shit like that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty tribal. Like that was a release. There's so many different ways and methods of practice.
Yeah,
and that's the beauty of it. If you start, you have to. It is about commitment as well.
Okay.
So if you're trying to get calm and stable, a practice of, say, a very strong Ashtanga practice late at night isn't going to help you. It's going to keep you awake and keep your mind spinning. Mm-hmm. So the idea is we stop the spinning of the mind, which is called vrittis, and we reach a state of vrittis. We reach a state of nirodha, which is the stillness of the mind. If you can get to that, then you're sweet. It's really hard, so you have to use. You have to use asana, but the correct ones in the right way for the right energetics. Remember I said they affect. So
you're kind of body. Like trying to find the complementary energetics to chill it out, like to take the sting out of it, to give you the chance to get to this calm place. Because your practice, and just as a little off the side note, I love the humility in the concept of practice. Yeah, that you never nail it. That it is a practice. Yeah, you practice. And that's it is your practice, but it is
until you transcend.
It's who's transcending? Let's be honest.
No one.
No one's transcending. So
not in this lifetime.
I love that humility of the concept of practice. I really love that. But to find that sort of balance between getting out, I think what do they call it? Someone told me that I am a pitta.
You're a pitta.
Yeah,
we're all pittas.
Yeah.
Pitta, you got Pitta, Vata, and Kapha, which are the three doshas.
Yep.
Okay. This comes into Ayurveda, and this is why Ayurveda is not just nuts and seeds and herbs and potions and
oil through your nose and whatever.
Yeah, this is why that's not what people think. That's what they think. That's why it's a threefold thing: Ayurveda, yoga, and tantra. Okay. So you've got your practices for Pitta, so it will reduce Pitta, so it'll be a cooling practice. Yeah. Because Pitta is generally everybody that's me and you, that's like me and you. Everyone we know, everyone's just
buff-head dudes
hot,
out there.
And women just hot and stressed. There's just heat in the body. Yeah, you don't need heat in your body constantly. Yeah. Oh fucking hell, man!
Dude, I have cold showers.
Yeah, I'm having cold showers.
All these things.
Working today, the heat is coming. I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah, man. I get hot when I'm grumpy. I get hot when I'm stressed. Yeah. In the cupboards, I remember fitting them off, and I'd be like, rah, just getting mad.
Yeah. So you're definitely Pitta, like me, like an awful lot of people are, and to help reduce Pitta, you would use asanas like forward folds and twists, but still keeping integrity of the spine and still doing the stuff to open up the heart space as well. So there's still a little bit of back bends and laterals and stuff like that, but yet you're working with an energy. You're trying to bring energy into balance and move this energy apana vayu downwards. It's a grounding force within the body. Mm-hmm. So that's just really good for any Pitta. And if you do that later on at night, or even early in the morning, start the day off calm.
Start the day calm, yeah.
Start the day fucking calm. Oh my God, yeah. Or yin, mate. Yin is wicked.
Yin kills me, man.
You love yin.
Yin makes me sweat. It's so hard to hold those positions for me. Like, you're like, oh, we're going to pigeon. I'm like, I need 19 bolsters. We're going to do this thing. I'm like, everything is falling apart. I can't hold it. My hands hurt.
When was the last time you did one?
With me. It's been a little while. No, not with you. No, I've done stuff since then.
Okay.
Yeah, but man, very rarely. I struggle. But also the ROMWOD stuff is basically yin.
It is.
A lot of the time. So you have a 20, 30 minute session. You do like maybe 6 poses or whatever. Yeah,
The ROMWOD meditate.
Nah, God,
fuck
no.
ROMWOD.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I think is in all the, and I'm, being in fitness, being in health and wellness, and being in their mental health space, and these things for many, many years now.
Yeah.
And I think the first time I did yoga, I was probably 12.
Wow.
Very first time.
Fuck.
It was a long time ago now.
Yeah.
But your practice particularly has a meditative focus on it.
Well, I've gone back to tradition.
Yep.
That's the thing. I've gone to a tantric school in Bali, non-sexy time tantra. We've gone deep into these traditions, deep into Patanjali's teachings. It's backed by, so you've got the Sutra of Patanjali, which is hard to understand. So you need a lineage, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got that lineage of like this Sri Vidya, which I'm very much not involved with, but starting to go down because I've done these 2 trainings. And there's para yoga, which is Rod Stryker's big thing, which is he's like the teacher's teacher out there. He's it's
a very masculine sounding name. It's a very Pitta sounding name, Rod Stryker.
Big Rod. Big Rod.
The big Rod.
The big Rod. Yeah, I've never met him, but I can't wait to meet him. He sounds awesome. Yeah, so you've got that. So you need the lineage, you need the sutra, you need the commentary. So there's a sage Vyasa that did all this commentary on the sutra, and then with that lineage and the teachers within it, they can decode it for you effectively, because it's got statements like meditate on the infinite.
Yep.
That's like one of the verses in one of them. And it's like, okay.
In one of the Vedas?
Yeah, in the Sutra.
In the Sutra, okay, yep.
And it's like, how do I do that? How do I meditate on the infinite?
Well, that's it.
Sage Vyasa has came up with the concept. No, because you're supposed to free your mind from concepts. It's fucking hard. What he says is, my mind is empty and my body is as vast as the sky.
Yep.
And that's what you sort of think to yourself.
If this was Joe Rogan, he'd be asking you if you'd done DMT as part of this whole process.
Nah, I don't think you need it.
No, you're just full organic.
Nah. Look, if you gave me some DMT now and I didn't have work tomorrow, I'd probably fucking be down. But
I don't have any. I've only got what's this, Cab Sav? We added Shiraz earlier. That's all I've got. Sorry, expand your mind.
But I've got work. I've got work tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, we got stuff to do.
I've got responsibilities.
That's right.
That's part of the whole thing. It's like, pull your fucking head in.
Yep.
Go to fucking work hard, do your practice, and be patient.
Yep.
And just keep doing the
and
things.
And post on social media constantly.
Fuck yeah.
Get bendy.
Loads
and
of that.
show everyone your
Loads
legs
of that.
behind your head.
In fact, wind your neck in with social media, I think, is the answer for everybody.
Yoga
for me,
and social media.
Weird, isn't it?
They go hand in hand.
It's mad.
Too much asana in the social media yoga scene. Too much like, check out my mad, one hand upside down pretzel stand. I don't know what you call any of these things.
It's pretty cool.
Look,
like
the things people can do with their bodies,
insane
to me. Shout out to all the yogi friends, that have
It's awesome. Do I think what I've noticed with the whole social media, like I've put posts on of me doing like a fucking something where my hands are going around and all this shit, and people have come to me and said, I'd love to come to your yoga class, but I can't do that.
So, mate.
And then they're out. And I'm like, well, I've fucked up there because I've put this picture on of me doing like a bound side angle where I'm doing this, and people are like, no, I can't do that. I'm not going to come.
Do you think though, if you won't go to somewhere to do the thing that you can already do, that you're already leaving too much on the table, like that you should be looking to be around better than you? Is that something that we are getting wrong all the time? Because I feel like there is this like intense fear of excellence amongst people. This intense fear of like of going, and I want to do this thing.
Yeah.
To do that thing, I've got to be near people who can do it or help me get there, and I can't do it. I'm going to just be amongst I'm just going to be amongst it until I can do it. Why are people so scared of doing that stuff? I see it all the time. Like, isn't some good better than nothing? Isn't a little bit of an attempt better than nothing?
Yeah, definitely.
And you kind of go, well, maybe it is, but like, what's wrong with just going, I'm going to stick at it until I'm as good as I can possibly be?
I think times are changing with that kind of thing as well. Like, obviously, some people aren't going to pull themselves out of, let's say, the lower, I want to say lower chakras and tamas, but then I have to explain all of that. So let's let's just say people aren't going to pull themselves out of the ruts that they've got stuck into, and good luck to them. Maybe they don't want to. Hopefully they do. But I think people are like, the fitness industry has exploded so much over the last 10 years, and that has pushed people in so many positive directions. You've got CrossFit, F45. There's another one. There's loads now. Spin classes, whatever the fuck it is you want to do. All that kind of stuff is so good, and people are really, finding motivation from that. But it is, again, motivation. But on fear, yeah, we do live in a very fearful world now.
Are people also looking for stuff to happen a bit quicker than it needs to?
They
like
are.
With those things like, let's put a time frame on, let's get it hustling along.
Okay, stretch out your timelines, people, because it's going to take longer, and you're going to have to work harder. That's the conclusion I'm coming to.
Yeah.
To achieve what I want to achieve. Also, instant gratification. Instagram is fucking, like, me and you are all right, Josh, because we're 33. You're 33?
Yeah, man. I'd straddle. I remember when I had to go to the library and look stuff up, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Me and you are all right. We can get away with it. We'd probably be fine if we deleted all our social media, which we sort of can't because we need it to sell stuff.
Well, I don't have any of it on my phone. I only have Instagram on my phone because you need it on your phone. But the other stuff, I don't even have it on my phone.
Yeah, that's a good game plan.
I still fuck around on my phone. Don't worry. Like, I waste. So
you
much
find a
time
way.
on
You
these
just
things.
find it. You find a photo. You edit it. I do that.
I'm just like checking on stuff, and then I don't even know.
Yeah.
And then, then you think, actually, hang on, there are people literally spending billions of dollars on just making stuff that just keeps you looking
on
at
the phone.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, look. So me and you are all right. I could probably buy myself a Nokia 3210.
Love a Nokia 3210.
Leave this at home.
Totally.
Have iPhone night once or two nights a week. I don't know. I'm fucking
You're like
talking.
3 nights, 4 nights, 7 nights.
I know. But take it out with you when you're out and about, your Nokia 3210.
Yep.
And leave your iPhone at home so you don't get distracted by it, and take a book with you instead. But we haven't grown up with this.
Correct.
We're all right. The kids now are fucked.
It's tough, man.
Because they are fucking, if they don't get the fucking likes, they're a loser. Or I don't know, man. They are in it's a different ball game for them.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely.
So the meditative practice is even more important now.
Even more important. Hey, man, think about it. If meditation was in schools and all these 4-year-old kids learned how to meditate from a young age, one day the president of the United States is going to be a mindful, meditating, cool person who's going to say, hold on.
Don't they have that already?
He's all right, isn't he?
Oh, he's
all right.
What's he done,
I like to call him Nelly the elephant.
It's a shocker.
Trump.
It is something I think that just being able to find that time, but and the correct kind of self-reflective. I think it's important to be able to reflect on yourself, hold yourself accountable to a better version of yourself, and work towards that.
Yeah,
the kind of self-obsession that you develop through like a lifetime of social media and instant gratification is the wrong kind of reflection, and you're reflecting on the wrong things, and you're paying attention in the wrong space.
Yeah,
and that sucks, and it makes not great human beings. They're not resilient people.
No,
they're not centered people.
Can't take criticism.
They can't take. They don't have ownership of their own development, which is very difficult. And again, that sort of concept of practice is, I think, very important in that space.
Right there, man. Right, everything. You see all these life coaches and
I mean, don't even
this and that.
Yeah.
Those guys, but there's some really awesome ones out there, right? There's some top ones, and then there's
a lot of
a million others.
Yeah,
but it's all fucking tantra, mate.
Yep.
That's all. That's what it all comes back to. Definitely.
So
everything they're working with and life view, world view, and all that kind of stuff. It's all been done by yogis.
So if I said
times
to you,
before.
you can bend or you can meditate.
Meditate.
Okay.
I've done like asana now, love it, and especially after like some big work and stuff like that, and I'm real stiff. Go to a class and
get it out.
It just feels great. It loosens you up. It's so good. But definitely, meditation is a non-negotiable. Meditation's where it's at. It's where you're gonna be able to peel off some of the layers of conditioning that have been built up since you were a kid. You're gonna be able to start to find answers within and progress.
I suppose as well, if like physical stillness is impossible because you're too stiff and sore, that a little bit of training helps to find a comfortable position.
Training's good.
Yep.
Training good. Surf then meditate.
Yep.
Box then meditate.
Yep.
That's what they do at practice. They do sick workouts and meditate.
Yep.
Fucking awesome.
Shout out to Paris.
You.
Episode whatever number Paris
haven't even been there yet.
Since you've been back, you haven't been back?
I've sort of swung by once, went in, hit the bench, left, and that's all I've trained.
Mate, bench is all you need, to be honest.
Yeah,
there's a whole nother school of thought on that sort of training.
Yeah, I'm bench through. I'm a bench man.
Who is someone in this space then, or you know, around these things? You know, there's a lot of conflicting information. Obviously, there's a bazillion yoga. I mean, particularly where we are right now, we're in St Kilda in Melbourne, but I mean, we must be around the highest per capita yoga studios in the planet,
in the world.
They're everywhere.
I think it is in the world.
Yeah. Who is someone then that you maybe disagree with in that space, but you respect?
Who would I disagree with? Well, the sort of disco party yoga and the beer yoga, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's just taking it too far the other way. It's too much of a like, come on, just pull it back in now.
Yeah,
I think that's taking it way too far away from tradition.
Do you think like if we can add a centering meditative practice to almost any physical activity, then that it like enhances the value of it, and if you take that away from yoga, then it makes it just whatever, bending on a mat and then doing something silly, and if you don't incorporate that, then you're kind of missing the point.
Yeah.
Yep.
You are.
Yeah.
That's the point. The point is meditation.
Okay.
It's like there's no beating around the bush there.
Totally, man. And look, I think personally, I felt probably my most, and I haven't done it. Like I haven't attempted a meditative practice. You know, maybe I've felt some of the benefit of like calm mind. You know, for free of too many thoughts, not too much going on. But like, certainly feel the most open at the end of a very, very hard and physical game of football, or like you do 20 rounds of sparring in a session or something, and you literally have no more physical energy to get in the way of just being like sitting there. And just sometimes I walk home from training and think, yeah, I'm pretty zen. To take advantage of those moments at the end of training, you bring a kind of yogic benefit to whatever you're doing, to take that moment and calm yourself, run through like, okay, all my hot energy's gone. I mean,
do some breath work. A lot of people do Wim Hof stuff now, don't they? And I'm not exactly sure what his breath ratios and stuff are. But yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff's coming into it. Just simply connecting to the breath and giving yourself 5 minutes to be with yourself and your breath. Just cultivate some stillness and some turning inwards. It's so valuable. Look how, and some silence as well. Look how noisy the world is.
It's noisy, man.
It's fucking noisy.
Yep.
I'm like jittery around noise now. If I'm trying to, meditate and stuff. I'm all right now because I've been back on sites for 3 weeks. So I'm angle grinder loving hammer drills and all that. I don't, it's fine. But when I first sort of, sometimes if I come out from like a meditation, I've been doing something deep, if there's a noise, I'll just be like, whoa, what was that?
Is that a test of the resilience of your practice? How you can go about it with the distraction and noise around you?
Definitely.
Okay.
we're not supposed to piss off and live in the woods and meditate.
Yep.
I mean, that would be cool for about a week. I reckon.
I don't even know if it would last a week.
I'd do it if Vipassana. I think it's 10 days. That'd be sick. I'll get to that one day. But nah, mate, you're supposed to live in the world. We are in the world. We're supposed to thrive.
Yes.
It's like what you come back to what you said earlier about the self-centeredness is if you can't. Yoga is a lot of it is about loving yourself first, because if you're not the best version of Josh Jones, then you're not going to be doing your best in helping others.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that's something I've had to do myself. It's like, okay, I've just got to.
So how do you, in that how does yoga, or what is the situation around, like, I've done a bunch of terrible things, or I've acted in ways that I am not comfortable, are the best version of myself.
So have I.
And how do you process that as a yogi? I mean, I have ways that, like in sort of character building sort of, ways that I reflect and evaluate and do things for sure. But what's like the yogic tradition to go at the extreme end of the scale? Let's say, like, you murdered someone, dude. Like, how are you going to deal with that now in this practice, or across, a lifetime of practice after that?
I haven't fucking murdered anybody, Josh.
Yeah, I know.
No. So I think like in the Bhagavad Gita that there's a story of I can't remember his name. This evil king dude, and he kills so many. He's like the warrior king. And
that's right. Yeah,
kills so many. Yeah, you know this. You're a philosophy dude.
Yep.
And he kills so many people, and then there's a lot of stories of people like that who have done heinous things.
Yep.
But they've had to go through this whole cycle of deep, fucked up, inwards turning.
Yeah.
For years.
Yep.
For years and years and years.
Is it about leaving that person behind and moving into this new person? Is that the...
Yeah.
And then holding yourself accountable to constantly being
Definitely.
that better person?
That's definitely what it is. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Well, if you think... I'll give you an example. Someone commented on one of my photos, "Dude, you've changed." And I was like, that just gave me the biggest smile on my face. I was just like, oh, God, I've changed. I'm not that person anymore.
Yes.
I'm this person now. But, people still expect you to be that person when they see you. They've people you went to school with or something like that, or you've went to college with or whatever, you knew 20 years ago. Fucking hell, I'm not that old, 15. That mad person that was drinking all the time and going crazy. But, it's about shedding that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Move on, grow, change. That's...
And then maintain that change, I suppose.
Yeah. It's... What's one of the things... practice, evolve, and serve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then come back to the word evolve or die.
Yeah.
So if you're stuck in the same old patterns, same old thing, and you're not progressing, you're just stuck. You need that practice of evolution.
I feel like humans need that forward movement anyway, even just to feel good.
It's happening
at all. You need that. You need to just...
It's happening all around us.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than being stuck in one spot.
The guys I work with now, like the young guys, the young tradies, like say the people sort of my age, you say you do yoga and meditate, they're like, fuck yeah. Whereas if you say that to some of the older fellas, they'd be like, oh, you fucking cunt.
Man, I gotta tell you, I did a lot of work with some guys back in the day, and it's helped them a lot. It's a stressful industry,
it's changing, but that's it changing as well. Construction industry's changed. I think it's going to be the hardest industry for it to come into.
Yep.
But then we've got the highest rate of depression within the industries.
It's an interesting space, I think, as well, to juggle the evolution with being content at some level of where you're at, trying to push forward and always better yourself. And I can't, for the life of me, think it's like being... It's like... there's a guy... I saw an interview with him. This is going to shit me. It's like happily discontent with where I am. You know, it's like happily unsatisfied. It's like I'm happy, but I have more to do.
Yeah.
And finding that balance of like
till the day you die.
Yeah, and not looking for the instant gratification to fill that gap, but
Yeah.
like that slow, that practice, that evolutionary
Yeah, man.
process
Like,
to just keep
you just
developing
gotta
as a
keep
human.
going. That's why, I'm working. Sometimes I'm sitting around, if I'm getting into my fucking head, I'm like, man, I should be teaching 15 classes a week and running workshops by now, and really, smashing this yoga teaching thing and just living that completely, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's through my own choices.
Yep.
And through stuff that's happened to me, tough shit. Like, get on with it a bit.
I also think as well, like, if you really mean that, you've got 50 years.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
It's fine.
So people are like, oh, I mean it so much. It's like, well, if you mean it so much, take the time
to do it.
To just kill it.
Yeah.
People want to do everything. Like, well, if you really want to do the thing, I mean, show up for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And prove it.
It's where I've had
to yourself as well.
To myself,
not just to the world.
Where I've had to learn to say no to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, no, not doing that. No, not going there. Not doing this. I've had to go and do the right things for me. And yeah, like, be happy with where you're at. Like, I'm working in construction, but I'm starting to embrace that now.
Yep.
I'm working with cool people, earning good money.
Yeah.
So
these are great opportunities.
It's fucking good.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I'm totally like on board with that. I know where I'm at, and I know.
I love it, man.
It's just all about progress, bro. Progress with love.
I can tell you, mate, I am so proud of your progress. You've just like expanded your mind and your heart, and you've always had this amazing positive energy, but it just feels more like you're in control of it a little bit now than how it used to be. And that is, I think that's something that has been gifted to you through this kind of journey that you've been going through, from, I suppose, what you're saying, like from asana to tantra, and paying attention to these things. And as someone who's been around for the before and after, it's amazing. It's fantastic. I really think it's wonderful to see you be able to like focus that. You've always had that positive energy, but to be able to focus that internally as well as find an outlet for it. There's a productive outlet for it externally, which is great.
Yeah, it's good to work or go through your life from a stable place.
Yeah,
calm, stable place. If you notice yourself getting fucking flustered or whatever, or let's not say like fucking angry.
Yeah.
Just, you gotta pull your head in, and you catch yourself out. You catch your mind.
Yep.
Before it goes there.
Yeah, that's the resilient tools you need, man. To live your best.
Yeah, we're doing it,
most
bro.
Positive self.
So many people doing it now. It's good.
Well, I think it's awesome. We've got a handful of questions.
Okay.
For the end questions.
Fuck yeah.
Abs or kebabs?
Well, at my rugby club back in England, we used to sing a song called "I Love Kebabs."
Hey,
I love them dearly. But now I don't eat meat anymore.
Falafel kebabs are okay because we've had like 700 vegans and vegetarians.
All right, I'll have a falafel kebab then.
There we go. Love
Abs
that.
are bullshit. Fuck them.
Hey, falafel is delicious too.
Fuck yeah.
I had some awesome falafel the other day. How do you know when you're doing a good job?
Yeah, it feels right.
Yep.
Yeah, feels right.
You just go with your vibe.
Yeah, you do.
Your gut.
There's an element of confidence in there, and then you afterwards, don't you? You get feedback. Feedback. Mm-hmm. Everything is feedback.
Feedback.
Constantly.
You can pass a law right now. What do you pass?
What's that thing called in schools with the curriculum?
Yep.
Changes to curriculum, meditation on the curriculum.
It's in there.
But it shouldn't be forced though either.
Time for it.
Yeah.
Space for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is your favourite way to just be nice?
Just rise above things, rise above my circumstances, rise above if anyone else is having a bad day, don't react. Just, hold space for people, smile, how you going, all that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Where can everyone find you, my man? People need to get on board. They need to be following you. They need to see what's happening.
Yeah, I've got the Instagram.
We will put the
okay, it's the _yoga_lad_. It's got underscores in it because
someone else is that
motherfucker.
Love it.
So there's that. I've got a YouTube channel. So go on the YouTube and go Yoga Lad, and I've got lots of videos on there. Interviewing other teachers. Are all small, digestible videos talking about different subjects on yoga within Tantra and stuff like that. So they are starting to roll out now. I've done about 7. And there's going to be 2 a week.
Awesome.
Ongoing from the future. I'm just sort of finding my own place now in Melbourne. And I'll set up my little practice / filming space, and I'm going to be rolling out some small asana videos as well, more meditation, and more talks about like this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, man, thanks for coming in. Happy Valentine's Day once again.
Happy Valentine's Day, mate.
I'm proud of you, mate. You're doing a great job.
Thank
and I hope
you.
everyone
I'm proud
follows
of you.
And
thanks for being
your
inspiring.
ongoing support of the JBM project, man. We can't do it without people like you.
Love it, bro.
It makes all the difference, man. So thanks once again. Go check him out. All the links will be in all the things. The Yoga Lad, Joey Cliff. Thank you, my friend.
Cheers, bro. Peace out.
Cheers.
You.
Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. If you did enjoy it, we would really appreciate it if you could share it with others that you think might also enjoy it. Check out the show notes to find out more. Like, subscribe, maybe even give us a rating if it's a good one. Remember that we care. You matter. Have an amazing day. And as always, just be nice.